Tanya has a brilliant idea. It all started because she realized that whenever it starts raining, she never has an umbrella handy. Tanya lives in a city with a small, densely populated business district, where most people work in big office buildings. None of them carry umbrellas either. When it starts raining cats and dogs, everyone gets wet. So Tanya has decided to start an umbrella rental business. She will use vending machines in office building lobbies to rent umbrellas to people who need one. People will take an umbrella from a machine and return it when they finished using it. They will pay a fee for every hour that they keep the umbrella. Tanya has worked out that the cost of setting up the business, buying the umbrellas, the vending machines, and paying rent for the space in the office building lobbies will cost $300,000. Tanya only has $100,000, however, and the bank won't lend the rest to her because they are worried that she won't be able to pay it back. Tanya asks Brian, a friend who works in banking, if he has any suggestions. He suggests that she could ask her friends and family to provide the money in exchange for giving them a small ownership portion in her business. In order to do this, she needs to start a company, and each of the people who give her money will become shareholders in the new company. Since they are buying shares, they won't be lending her money, so she won't have to repay the money or pay interest. But she will have to share with them any profits that the company makes. Tanya goes ahead and sets up the company, and 20 of her friends and relatives each buy 1% of the company for $10,000, so that Tanya manages to raise the $200,000 extra cash that she needs to start the business. Tanya will have to pay 1% of the profits from the business to each of her friends and relatives who've invested in her company. The business is a great success, and after several years, the company is making a profit of $500,000 a year. Tanya pays each of the shareholders 1% of this amount, $5,000 per year, and they are very happy. Tanya wants to expand the business into a new city, but the remaining profits from the business aren't enough to pay for more umbrellas, vending machines, and rent. She asks the shareholders if they want to invest more money in the business, but they aren't confident that the new city will be a success, and they say no. Tanya asks Brian if he has any more good ideas. He suggests that she could get private equity funding. Just like the friends and family who invested at the start, the private equity investor, investors who invest in lots of different companies, will want to receive an ownership portion of her company. She sells some of her shares to a private equity investor, 10% of the shares of the company, for $500,000. This gives Tanya the money that she needs to expand into the new city. Tanya continues her expansion, and after some time, the company is making $10 million per year in profits and has umbrella businesses in 15 different cities around the region. Tanya wants to go global. She needs $5 million to launch umbrella businesses in New York, Paris, London, Frankfurt, and Tokyo. Neither the original investors nor the private equity investor has $5 million to give her to go ahead with the expansion. Tanya goes back to Brian, and he suggests that his firm could help her to list her company on a stock exchange and sell shares to a large number of investors. Eventually, 20% of the shares in Tanya's company are sold on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. The shares are sold for a total of $20 million, and Tanya has more than enough money to complete the expansion. In addition, her friends and relatives and the private equity investor now have a chance to sell their shares if they want to. They can offer their shares on the exchange through a stockbroker. This will allow them to take profit on their investment and enjoy the money. As for Tanya, she is now the CEO of a successful stock exchange-listed company. She too can sell her shares if she wants to, but she doesn't because she still believes that there are many more people to keep dry. In summary, shares represent a partial ownership of a company. Companies sell shares to raise money to help finance their ongoing business and growth. Investors typically receive dividends if the company makes money, and as the value of the business grows, so too does their partial ownership of the company. Once a company is large enough, they may decide to list shares on a stock exchange. This allows the company to access a wider range of investors, and allows existing investors to sell their investment if they want to.